We'll get this shindig started.
Yes, you are live.
Here. We did it. We did
Dude,
it
I
again.
don't even know if it is a confirmation you're now live or an affirmation you're alive,
You're alive.
you
You're alive.
know?
We're here. We're doing it. Yes. Good morning,
Happy
Shannon.
Happy Tuesday, Jason. Good morning. I am so excited to be here with you today to talk about all things AI. And I'm really pumped because you and I are going to be on an AI panel together in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to that. Also, happy October. So, all
Happy
things
October.
spice are acceptable. You can incorporate those into your life now, and it's okay.
It's time. I'd like to show you something. This is not a commercial, but Waterloo
Ooh,
has a spiced apple flavor.
Waterloo's my favorite sparkling water. I'll have to
Uh,
try it.
same
Yeah,
seas.
for sure.
The spiced apple's really interesting. If you haven't tried it, you should. It's October 1st.
Looks delicious. I'm gonna have to get it. Cool. Well, hey, I got some cool new tech to try today.
Oh, I'm so
I
excited.
will I'll go ahead and present and we can get right to it. Find my window here. Share screen.
I'm so pumped. I can't wait to see what you have in store today
Yeah,
because I feel like in the last week I have learned so many more new AI tools, and my list for you is getting longer and longer. And I think by the time I get around to it, they'll already be dead.
absolutely. So today we're going to take a look at Kling AI. This is a creator studio where you can generate video from text prompts or you can generate video from images.
Hold up.
Pretty
What? Say it again. Say it again.
video from text or video from an image, which is pretty nuts. So it's been around for a little bit. They've just rolled out some crazy new features, including lip sync within the last day, I believe, here, which is a new update. So I don't know if we'll have time to get into that. The one thing that I did do, actually started playing with this yesterday, and I went in and created some just because there is a little bit of lag and it can take a little bit longer. I know we're doing a live stream and nobody wants to sit around and wait. So we can kind of take a look at some examples here. I will share my screen and let's look at text to video. So for the first one I tried in the creative space here. Oh, let me back that up with, you can go on to Kling AI right now, sign up for your account and get 66 free credits to play with. So pretty cool. So you could probably do about 4, 5, 6 different videos and test it out and then go ahead and we can look into pricing a little bit. But
Okay.
so text to video, image to video options. So in this particular case, I put in a pretty specific prompt: a luxury sailboat sailing on the sea, sunny days, colorful sunsets, warm and stylish vibes. This is the output.
Wow.
It's absurd. I mean, it nailed it right out of the gate. I was thinking about, say you're a brand, you're in the luxury space, travel space, you need to create some cool content for social. You can change your orientation of the aspect ratio. You can do, or widescreen 16 by 9, 9 by 16. Now, the options down here on the left-hand panel are pretty robust, right? You can control the camera movement. So you can pan, zoom, tilt, scroll horizontal. We have it set to horizontal here. So the camera's kind of sweeping through. The limitations on the free plan, 5 seconds, which, isn't bad, if you want to see, and then you can go up to 10 seconds on the platform, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
My line of thinking was, again, going back to that brand use case where you could create a series of short 5 seconds or 10 seconds clips, piece them together, and then you can even add like ending screens to your video. So they want you to upgrade to premium. You can add end screens, and then you've got yourself a nice piece of video content to share out on YouTube, social, and the like. So, I kind of took this one, and then I was like, well, how far, if I were to do that use case, if I were to create a video myself, maybe the next scene would be like a couple people on a boat, happy, and just kind of also sailing. Did a great job in terms of quality here, but you can see a few little things, like they're sitting on like a tiny Tommy Boy Chris Farley boat. The scale's huge, right? So the proportions and things like that, I mean, it's still photorealistic, still looks like, the water and the scenery looks amazing here. But yeah, that was kind of the thing. And I'm sure you could continue to, adjust the prompts here, and I put a man and a woman sitting in the deck of a luxury sailboat. Looks like we actually have two women, or at least two people with long hair. So it didn't get it exactly right, which later on here I'll show you too some really funny ones, because we can get some creepy outputs and some creepy results. So pretty crazy. I mean, and these generated fairly quickly. These only took maybe about 2 or 3 minutes, right? It'll say, hey, go grab a coffee. We'll work on this. You can close the screen. You can come back later. These are done and sitting and waiting for you. So text to video, extremely cool on Kling AI. They actually just released 1.5 is out as well. So you can switch between models and some of those other new features, which is pretty neat. So
Wow, this is incredible, and truly it does look photorealistic, and just like AI, it always has a few tells for the people who are looking at it, but I could see this use case for things as corporate as on Zoom, you can have a waiting room that people are waiting for, and that's capable of holding video. I could see, creating a video to send to your clients or prospects. People are really into video, Jason, and I don't think that's ever going to go away. Video is just king. I think it just reigns king, and it's not my preferred method of interaction, but I know it's most people's.
it's yeah, absolutely. And when we look at it from a metrics standpoint, it converts higher, it grabs more attention, right? It's generating income out there, right? Your people are getting ad revenue off of their channels. So yeah, video is kind of king right now. And Kling AI is kind of like doing some really cool things in the space, which I will flip over to. And I know we had some issues sharing audio, but if you go out there on X, you can find an example. I'll play this. I don't know if you can hear it, but somebody just about 30 minutes ago posted a new test on the lip sync feature right here.
I can't really hear it, but I can see that her lips are moving in a way that looks realistic.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. You can get some examples out there. Just do like a search on X for Kling AI, and some creators are already getting really crazy in this space. So text to video was really cool, and I tested that out. So then the next thing I wanted to try was image to video, and like the prompt that says, you can click, drag, paste, or select from your history, any static photo that you have. You can upload that image. And then what was really kind of knocked my socks off was the motion brush feature that was also rolled out recently. And this, I think you're going to think is pretty damn sweet. So I essentially took from Midjourney, I found this photo. Shout out to DFMY0129 user. This is their work. Obviously, I want to give them credit. I basically saved this photo, plugged it into Kling, and then this motion brush feature is phenomenal. You can basically paint over with this paintbrush, right? Like Photoshop. You can erase as well to trim it up. And then you can do multiple different areas, and then you can then adjust which way you want the person to move. Yeah. So you could select different areas, right? And then the track, and then you can send them in different directions, and you can do a number of different things. Obviously, you have to clear that. So this I started playing with was really, really cool. I'm going to just discard these changes. The end result was to go from this static photo. This one took a little while, and I don't know if it got caught up on a bug or something, but about several hours I came back, and then it took that static photo, and now we have the video of this essentially fashion shoot where the model's kind of like moving around and flipping her hair and kind of walking in this fashion, which is crazy to me, right?
I'm speechless. That never happens to me. I know you know that, but I am speechless. Wow. What?
Yeah.
Okay. This is why I love that we surprise each other with these things, because my palms are sweating and my heart is pounding. What in the world? This is unbelievable.
Right. So get ready for this. So I'm like, okay, pretty cool. This one nailed it, right? So now we're going to get into the funny and weird. I was like, all right, this is pretty neat.
The B-roll.
I go over and I head over to Envato, and I've got an account, but you can get some free royalty-free images. I'm like, let's see if I can make this squirrel, do something and run. So I upload the image into Kling, and then I do the same thing that we just kind of showcased there. I take the motion brush and the squirrel starts creepy crawling. he just kind of creeps along. It kind of reminds me of the Ice Age squirrel, which is nuts.
Oh my gosh, this is a zombie squirrel, perfect for October 1st. This is incredible.
Yeah,
Oh,
super cool. Uh,
stop. Him walking with his little hands out is killing me.
yeah, that's so cool. I tried. It doesn't look like it worked, but basically, same thing. I tried to do three paths on the motion brush here. You can see. So I highlighted the squirrel. I sent that track this way. I tried to get a couple of the leaves. It did not pick those up. So
Okay.
obviously, this is really kind of, these are new features. This is new technology. So it would get better. But what I wanted to do is like have the squirrel walk and then maybe see if I can get some leaves to blow around or something like that. But this gives you a good idea, of some of the functionalities and the capabilities that Kling AI is capable of.
Wow, this is spectacular. But I could see so many fun things being done with this, really, far beyond social. But if you've got product, this would be great. If you've got an event that you're thinking about, this would be really cool. And my goodness gracious, this is just a tremendous showcase of what AI can do. So I think this would be great for a sort of educational session too, just to let people know, hey, here's the things that AI can do, but more importantly, these are the things you should be aware of as a consumer of media, that anything can be manipulated in any way. So we're no longer in that arena where we're like, hey, Pixar, it didn't happen. Video,
Right.
it didn't happen, because neither of those things happened.
Absolutely. Are you ready for another one? I got one more for you.
What? What kind of day? It's like
This is
it's my birthday month, but it
this is
feels
where it
like
gets
it's my
this is
birthday.
where it gets like creepy weird. So I was like, all right, I really like this motion feature. And I saw a few use cases prior to playing with it where they really got those motion tracks down where like somebody would be sitting in a field and they stand up and walk away. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. So I was like, what if I could select a group of people, and see if I can get them to kind of move around and oops, let's see here. I gotta reshare my screen.
Okay, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
So I found this photo online, and it's
Aw.
the lovely cloud adoption solutions team, and this beautiful website that was created for them. But this group of
Hmm.
people, and I wanted to see like how far I might be able to push it. The output got pretty crazy, which I'll share with you here. So
Whoa.
so I tried to see if I could get people to walk away. What I really enjoy here is Jared in the back, kind of like I had him move over, and then he gets
Oh, wow.
there's some facial distortion. There's a lot of kind of weird movement here going on. It's pretty crazy. But this is kind of the idea what I was going for here, right? So like Shannon, you'd be walking forward, Liv would come in, right? And let's like see if we can get like this realistic video of the team kind of gathering for
Oh
this
my
photo.
gosh.
It got kind of close, but obviously it started distorting faces and everybody's kind of getting all kind of weird and it looks a little hallucinatory there. But
It does, but again, the power of this, and I think one of my favorite things about, us getting together on a weekly basis and looking at this stuff is we're seeing progression even in just a few weeks.
yeah,
So the capabilities are wild, and even for Kling to have, a 1.0 and a 1.5 says they've got a 2 in the works, right? They didn't call this release version 2.
correct.
Which means there's even more stuff to come. And I I just think the use cases for this are boundless. I mean, you and I are in sales and marketing. We consult in sales and marketing, so those are the folks we're thinking of the most. But I can only imagine how you could use this for, here's a video to help you assemble your IKEA bed, or
Right, absolutely.
here's a video that shows you how to safely use our product, because holding on to actually printed user manuals, that just doesn't happen. Let's be real.
Right. And I agree. And it's kind of, we're in like the wild west right now. The outputs are doubling over themselves. The technology is getting extremely advanced very rapidly. There's a lot of big news, obviously, week to week, even, right? We've got DeepMind's, ability to improve their hardware chips, or, AI is creating AI to make it better. So we're going to see this extremely rapid advancement on the hardware side, and then and the resource side as well. That's kind of running, parallel at the time right now with the ability for these models, and how advanced they are. It's crazy.
It's really crazy. And I think, Salesforce had their Dreamforce conference a couple of weeks ago, and they talked about Agent Force. And, they're talking about agents in loads of different ways, very different than the chatbots of the past. And I say the past,
Right.
sort of tongue in cheek because,
Yeah.
right. I mean, really, you and I can remember a time when you didn't walk around holding a smartphone all the time. So, technology is just evolving at such a rapid pace that it's almost impossible to say, I'm going to sit in this and this is good enough. I have my toolbox now.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, I thought Kling AI would be a cool tool to share today. I think, when we look at and start, I've worked in creative, right, and worked with agencies, and we've done our own video productions. We do it for clients, we do them with clients, and video production gets extremely, extremely costly, right?
Oh, yes.
In this particular case, you could essentially cut those costs down drastically with just a photo shoot, right? Or if you have in-house photography or your own DSLR, you could go out, photo shoot, any landscape, upload it, add image, add motion, have people,
Right.
people moving somewhere, like we saw, like that model, kind of fashion style video that was created just from uploading a picture, which is mind blowing.
Absolutely mind blowing. That picture alone, I think, could inspire loads of product companies.
Yeah.
And we're seeing such a great resurgence of handmade items. We see loads of small businesses coming about. One of the things I learned at Point Park at a faculty meeting last year, where they said over a third of the students that are entering college want to be entrepreneurs. They want to own their own businesses. And so these types of tools, I think, will be really democratizing.
Yeah, and adding on to that, I think there's that secondary part of the conversation. So in my demo here today, I went in and I found a royalty-free photo. Um, we need to be kind of cautious, specific when we talk about these things, and how we're using either royalty-free or licensed images. I'm probably going to see a big push on these platforms, creative markets that are allowing people to download assets. What's the license requirements for if I download a stock photo and turn it into a video, right? Or somebody's likeness you're taking. So anybody out there, please be very careful. Obviously, give the attrition and give the rights, where they're due, but then also kind of tread lightly when you're playing with these. Obviously we're just experimenting, but if you were going to use these for commercial use or some sort of production, probably a good idea to talk to legal and at least have your end of the business at least sign some agreements or have some contracts in place where it's like, hey, we're using photography of you. You're going to allow us the rights to use your likeness in AI generated videos or any type of enhancements and things like that. That'll be pretty big. I think, there's a lot of conversation right now just centered around privacy policy, information, the way that we collect and gather and use people's data, reactively. But, there's a proactive side too that I don't think many people are talking about right now.
I completely agree. I think, I give a lot of talks on AI readiness, and I warn everybody the same thing. There's a legal side to this too. You can't just expect you're going to use somebody's work or monetize somebody's work by altering the image, because when you're using stock free, or even if you have a subscription, generally you have to use the image in the way that was intended. So
Correct.
there could be a potential dark side to this, both ethically and morally, and also legally. And this is something that we really saw come into play. I mean, I still judge dance and cheer competitions, and there was a huge uprising maybe half a decade ago in the music industry saying, hey, you can't just buy our song for 99 cents from iTunes and then cut it into different ways and then charge somebody, $3,000 for a finished piece of music.
Mm-hmm.
That's our IP. And so there is a large amount of IP that has to be, focused into here. So you're right. If you're taking your own photos, you should amend the legal T's and C's that you have saying we're allowed to use this for AI. And that reminds me, everybody who's watching this, especially if you're watching on LinkedIn, don't forget to check your terms and conditions on LinkedIn, because they auto opted you in to allow any content that you publish to train their algorithm and their AI tool. So I said no thanks to that, but I thought that was a huge overstep. And so I do want to keep reminding people, go into those settings and turn that off.
It's like Apple giving everybody the U2 album.
Right. Which everyone's still mad. I think Apple Music as a brand is still suffering from.
Yeah, that was a big hit. But I agree, Shannon, and we're seeing that too. With some of these lawsuits that are popping up from publishers, and right, they're saying, hey, these are protected works. You can't use these to train your models. And there's it's getting a little haywire with some of those ins and outs, but the dust will settle, and I think we'll start to see some more clarification, or even like, when we go on a website and you're using your cookie management, we'll probably land soon on websites that will have our AI or generative information management. What do you want to share? What don't you want to share? Kind of a similar situation. If that doesn't exist, maybe we should create that. But
so, it's so true. The number of new jobs that are popping up, first we heard about prompt engineers, and that was a new job, but there now will be attorneys that are specifically focused on AI in a broad way now. But I guarantee there are folks that are starting law school who are going to be focused on very small segments of AI.
Yep, absolutely. So cool, Shannon. Well, Kling AI was fun.
I've been thinking about this all day, Jason. Thank you so much, because
Absolutely.
this is like something incredible to play with. Yeah, I can't wait.
Free. We didn't explore pricing. I don't believe, it was something crazy. If I go to, here, I'll just reshare real quick. That way, since we're on here, if you don't mind.
I love it. I'm always interested in the pricing. And, the other thing I like to warn folks, as somebody who thinks a lot about tech stacks and platforms, if you're building your practice around one of these tools, be aware they're typically always up for sale. So,
yeah, right. The freemium model's here to stay, right? It's freemium. It's, let's get you in here, start playing with it. It's cool. And it works, right? So I don't see any harm there, but.
Right. And that some bigger players, some private equity company or larger enterprise might buy this point solution. So I like to a lot of times look to see what is the difference between the yearly and the annual or the monthly plan.
Yeah. So we got our free plan here, which is nuts. So $0 per year. You're getting free credits daily by logging in. And I actually saw it looks like it reset from yesterday. I got another 66 credits.
Wow.
So you could essentially play with this thing, perpetually and be cool. You want to get a little more advanced features, obviously, faster track generation, removing watermarks, right? So if you're going to get into some sort of sharing or production, obviously you want to step into their standard plan. Buying that annually comes out to about $6 a month, 72 per year, which I think value wise, like as somebody who's spent days in Adobe After Effects and video editing and things like that.
Right.
The fact that I could just upload a video, motion brush it, and get some movement and have enough to kind of, there are people already out here that are they're going to create movies with this, right? They're going to create characters, they're going to create scenes. It's there, and then you can step all the way up through to their Premiere, right? For even still at a price point of $728. I think the outputs and what you can get is such a good value.
Geez, that is a really good price. Also, the 20 cents, 4 cents, 64 cents says to me, this is not an American company, or they're not pricing.
Oh, yeah, no, that's to China or Japan, I believe. Yeah. So, yeah, it's overseas, but doing some pretty cool things.
I love it. Jason, this was a wonderful, very exciting, exhilarating way for us to start our Tuesday. So thank you so much for bringing this one. I guarantee everybody who's watching is probably like, must look at Kling. Man, October is a big birthday month here at Cloud Adoption Solutions.
Right.
50% of our team has a birthday in October, which is wild.
Wow. That is wild. Mine was just 2 days ago. So
Happy birthday to you 2 days ago. So you're an honorary October baby. I'll
yeah,
take that.
pretty close.
Yeah, so we could make, birthday videos for everybody.
Pretty creepy squirrels.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Oh my gosh. This
All right.
is
Well, make
fantastic.
sure if you're watching live, subscribe on YouTube or check us out every week. We're here streaming Tuesday mornings, bright and early, tired. And
Shoot us some comments. If you found an AI we haven't unboxed yet,
send some.
let us know. We love to surprise each other with them. So send them any way you want to.
Absolutely. Okay, Shan. See you next time.
Thanks.
See ya. Smoz.